So, today's Sunday, the weather is bloody awful and there's nothing on the telly. Time to flop down onto the settee and watch a film. Hello, welcome back to the Adrian Project. I'm Adrian with a face for radio, and on today's episode I'm going to be pillaging my DVD collection to pick out 5 films to watch on a rainy Sunday. So, cue the music. Okay, so let's get straight into it, and my first choice is the Anvil story. At 14, school friends Steve Lips-Kudlow and Rob Reiner made a pact to rock together forever. Their band, Anvil, went on to become the demigods of Canadian metal, releasing one of the heaviest albums in metal history, 1982's Metal on Metal. The album influenced a musical generation, including Metallica, Slayer and Anthrax, all of whom went on to sell millions of records. But Anvil's career took a different path, straight to obscurity. The story of Anvil is a timeless and at times hilarious feel-good tale of survival and the unadulterated passion it takes to follow your dream. Directed by Sasha Gervasi, we follow the band as they attempt one last shot at the big time with their 13th album, This Is 13, and a calamitous European tour. So before you go reaching for the fast forward button thinking, oh, it's a heavy metal video, you don't have to be a fan of either Anvil or heavy metal music to enjoy this documentary. When you see a lot of bands and you think to yourself, how the hell did these even get signed? They're awful. We've got other bands that get left behind in the wake that should have been massive. Anvil are one of those bands. We've got interviews with the likes of Slash and Scott Ian of Anthrax saying they just cannot understand why Anvil weren't as big as they are. Well, that's the question that's asked on here. It was all down to bad management, as is usually the case. That Anvil weren't the ones to give up. They're going to have another go at it and another go and keep having a go at it. This is a story that if you ever had a dream and people have always trampled all over it saying you can't do that, you can't do this, you can't do the other, this will inspire you to just carry on, ignore what the naysayers do. Like I say, if you're not rooting for Anvil by the end of this video, I really don't know what you want out of life. It's a cracking story. I really feel for Lips. A lot of the time I see myself in this actually, because it's all down, as Lemmy said in the past, to be in the right place at the right time. Anvil's sent to be in the early 80s to be just that, but it all fell away from him. This is the last bite of the cherry for them at the time. They just recorded the album, This Is 13, and they were going to do a European tour, which didn't go too well. And this is the story behind that. It is really heartwarming. It's not all glamorous like you see on a lot of these DVDs. It's not all limos and touring and parties. The band have got day jobs to fund what they do. They get a chance to record the album, This Is 13, and have to borrow money. It's not everything laid at the feet. This is hard graft, and that's what it takes to be in a band, really. Like Bon Scott wrote, it's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll. This film shows that. Absolutely love it, and you'll be rooting for Lips and the rest of the band straight from the off. Fantastic film. I can really, really recommend it. It's one of the best rock documentaries you will ever see. If you can borrow it, borrow it. If you buy it, buy it. Highly recommend it. And with that in mind, I'll give Anvil's story 5 Evil Ednas. So on to my next choice, that is Transamerica. Bree is a pre-operative male-to-female transsexual who discovers she has a son, Toby, the product of a somewhat clumsy sexual encounter years ago when she was a man. Bree flies from Los Angeles to New York in order to bail Toby out of jail. Greeting Toby in the guise of a Christian missionary, Bree persuades him to accompany her back to the West Coast, secretly planning to return him to his stepfather along the way. As each lies to and manipulates the other, Bree and Toby find themselves travelling across the heartland of a continent on an unexpected journey. Okay, I absolutely implore you, please do not be put off by the subject matter of Transamerica, or you're going to be missing out on a truly awesome film. Felicity Hoffman, her portrayal of the lead character Bree, absolutely awesome, and it's no wonder that she got Oscar nominated for a performance and then won a Golden Globe for it. It's a truly outstanding piece of acting in this. The film itself, brilliantly made. It's like saying, if you're just going to be put off by the fact it's about a man going through a sex change to a woman, then you're really going to be missing out. The story between her and her son is really well plotted out as well. You see the prejudices that Bree comes up against and what she has to go against, and hide the fact that she is actually his dad. It's all fantastically filmed, it's tastefully done, it's not gratuitous in any way, and I can't recommend this film high enough. And with that in mind, I'm going to give Transamerica 4.5 Evil Ednas. Next up is a film you've probably never heard of. It's called The Hitchball Claimant. Based on a true story set in the late 19th century, Lord Titchbourne, the 9th richest man in England, disappears after a South American shipwreck. Years later, his valet, Bogle, is sent to investigate rumours that Titchbourne survived. Bogle suspects fraud, but embarks upon a journey with the claimant to restore his fortune. A superb all-star cast feature in this beautifully told, critically acclaimed British period drama. Now, the Hitchball Claimant is actually the inspiration for this whole video today. I can remember being at my old house. It was a Sunday afternoon. It was actually snowing, actually tanking it down with snow. This was on, I think it was BBC Two, and I quite like period dramas myself. I'd never heard of this, so I thought I'll give it a watch. And within the first 10-15 minutes, I was totally hooked. This film is excellent. It stars John Carney as the manservant Bogle, who tells the story throughout the film. It's through his eyes. Robert Pugh plays the Hitchball Claimant. It's a veritable who's who of British actors in this film. Sort of loads of, blinking you miss some cameos. But it's awesomely shot. It's well acted. The story is fantastic. Now, it is based on a true story. Obviously, when they say that, they take liberties to make for a better film, for better running, continuation, as we all know. But how they've done it, it's more or less faithful to the actual events that occurred. I say it also lifts the lid on the 19th century's attitude. It's the upper class, the top 1%, very much similar as it is today. who wanted to all and anybody they deem below them can't have anything. And this is a story of a man that's trying to claim back his inheritance, but there's those at the top who don't believe his story. They're going to do absolutely everything in their power to stop him, and because they are powerful people, they have got that power there. But he has the power of the people behind him in his cause. I'm not going to give away the ending, but it's a fantastic film. Well worth watching if you can get out of it. It is a rather old film now. I don't know if you can still get it on Amazon, but if you can, you'll probably pick it up pretty cheap, and I can highly recommend this one. And this is another one that I will definitely give every day of the week 5 evil Ednas. If there's a little bit of drama and a little bit of a thriller that you want, one that would have flown under your radar is Notes on a Scandal. Barbara Covert is a teacher who rules over a classroom with an iron fist, yet leads a desperate, solitary life outside of it. That is, until she meets radiant new art teacher Sheba Hart. Although at first overjoyed with her newfound kindred spirit, when Barbara discovers that Sheba is having an affair with a student, her jealousy and rage spiral out of control. Out of all the films on the list today, Notes on a Scandal is the one film that I just cannot get my head around why more and more people aren't talking about it. The cast list alone, you've got Dame Judi Dench, Cate Blanchett, Bill Nighy. That's a film there that's never going to fail. Even with the worst writing, the calibre of acting there is going to make it brilliant. But the writing in this is awesome. It's a sensitive story, but it's been well done. It could be over sensationalised, make it a bit seedy, but what they've done here is an awesome thriller, and it will have you on the edge of the seat. Dame Judi Dench just showing why she's this country's top actress. Playing against Cate Blanchett, is an awesome actress as well. If you've not heard of this film, if you've not seen it, go out and get a copy today. It is a truly awesome film. Bill Nighy, as understated as always, plays Cate Blanchett's husband, and you really start feeling for him when the proverbial brown stuff hits the fan. It's like I say, can't recommend this highly enough. Awesome film, edge of the seat stuff, not in a sort of John Wick, Bourne ultimatum kind of edge of the seat, but it will have you thinking, what's the character played by Dame Judi Dench going to do next? So with that in mind, I will give Notes on a Scandal 4.5 evil Ednas. And my final choice, the black comedy In Bruges. This stylish black comedy thriller stars Ralph Fiennes as Harry, a vicious London crime boss who sends his 2 hitmen to the picturesque Belgian city of Bruges to lay low and wait for orders, while Ken, played by Brendan Gleeson, is happy just to sightsee. His fast-talking partner, Ray, played by Colin Farrell, sets out for adventure. Before long, Ray is experiencing hilariously surreal encounters with tourists, skinheads, dwarves and prostitutes. When, at last, the call comes from Harry, the fun turns to be a life and death struggle of darkly comic proportions. In Bruges, absolutely destined to become a total cult classic. Not many people talk about this film, although I've noticed past couple of months more and more people are picking up on it. It's absolutely brilliant. Brendan Gleeson, Colin Farrell, 2 hitmen, the chalk and cheese. They're sent to Bruges because of a hit that's gone wrong, and they're awaiting to hear from their boss. Ralph Fiennes, who plays the most sweariest gangland leader you will ever hear. They're waiting to hear for a phone call, what to do next. Sent to Bruges, like I say. Brendan Gleeson's character, he wants to go sightseeing, whereas Colin Farrell is like a 12-year-old. He don't want to do that. He wants to go out exploring a bit of excitement, and that just seems to get him in to one piece of trouble to the next. There's a lot of comedy set-up pieces in this bit where you feel you shouldn't be laughing, but you can't help yourself. Honestly, I can't really give them away. I'll be giving the story. I'll just spoil it for you, but you're going to have to watch it. The second half of the film does take a quite darker turn when Ralph Fiennes. I don't think he got a proper name. It's Ralph Fiennes. It'd be so much easier if it was John Smith or somebody, wouldn't it? But anyway, he's the gangland leader. He phones them up. They're not in the hotel when he phones, which winds him up even more, and he gets even more sweary to the point where he decides he's going to come over himself to sort them out. I'm not going to give too much of the story away because honestly, you need to watch this film yourself. It is hilarious. It's fantastic. It's another one that flew under the radar that you've probably not heard of, but I can quite highly recommend it. And so, with that in mind, in Bruges, of course, it's going to have 5 evil Ednas. Being a decent, down-to-earth chap that I think I am, I always like to try and help out people as much as I can. And today is no exception to that. And I'd like to give a big shout out for my old mother's ruined compadre, Ellen Foster. Ellen is a multi-instrumentalist and a stunning vocalist. She spreads her time with performing and teaching, as well as taking musical examinations around the world. Now, Ellen's just put up on her YouTube channel 6 or 7 videos from a performance that she did at Boxing Day. It's on her own, it's a solo performance, and it's really great. It just shows you what a talented person she really is. With that, I'd like for all my subscribers, if you wouldn't mind, just popping along, showing a little bit of support, and subscribing to Ellen's channel as well. I think she's only got about 4 or 5 at the moment, but I think we can all do a little bit just to build a channel up and build a profile. I'm going to be putting where to look along the bottom of here, and also I'll put a link to her channel. It's Ellen Foster Musician, I think it's called, in the description box. So just click, go along, have a look, and please subscribe. Let's help a fellow YouTuber build their channel. Okay, so that's the end of another episode. Hope you all enjoyed it. Many thanks for watching. If you haven't done so already, could you subscribe to my channel as well, please? It's very much appreciated. And share and like my videos too. And with that in mind, I'd just like to say many thanks for watching, and it is to see you all again on the next episode of the Adrian Battle Project. I know